Philip, I'm going out. Okay, so I've just decided that I'm going to attend a comedian party. Now, you might not think that this is actually that big of a deal, but I have to say, it's a little intimidating going to a comedian party. Everybody's funny, everybody's cracking jokes constantly. You're laughing, trying to keep up, but also trying to make jokes so that you feel like you belong there. I'm telling you, it's a lot of pressure. And I'm just assuming that that's how it is. I've actually never even been to a comedian party. This will be my first one. I've only ever done the after show hangout, which is a lot of fun, but also a little bit stressful for me personally. Let's just be honest here. When I started doing comedy, one of the things that kind of made me most nervous was just being around the comedian, because I saw them all on stage and they were all so funny and so confident. I didn't know if I needed to prepare my own 5-minute set for just hanging out with comedians after. It's kind of difficult actually just becoming friends with a comedian. So today's vlog is going to be all about how to become friends with a comedian. I hope this interests some of you. If it doesn't, well, fair enough. Just make friends with people who don't stand up in front of, rooms full of people telling their deepest, darkest secrets. If that floats your boat or whatever. Lame. Okay, so the first mistake that I think a lot of people make when they, want to become friends with a comedian or they see someone do stand-up is that they think that the person who was on stage performing and telling all their stories and being really funny and outgoing and crazy is the same person when they get off stage, which just isn't the case, except for me. I'm pretty much the same person anytime you meet me, unless I'm feeling sad, which, it's okay to feel sad sometimes. Right? And then, I can be sad, and that's fine. Okay, I gotta figure out what I'm wearing to this thing, which is also a whole nother thing. The next thing you should really keep in mind is that you want to approach with caution. I mean, since you don't really know what this comedian is like, you don't want to scare them away. And you can actually think of this sort of like, approaching a wild animal in a forest. You want to move slowly towards them with them knowing that you're there, except for that's not how it works with wild animals, is it? What do you do with wild animals if you want to sneak up on them? I think you just bring the gun, don't you? You just shoot them down when they're not looking. Okay, that's not what you should do. Oh, like a dog. It's like a dog. You'd never run up to a dog and be like, "Boo, boo, boo, boo." But what you actually should do is let them sniff your hand first, right? Give your little hand a sniff. Let them get to know you a little bit, and then you can, do the little head shake, and you can rub their ears and those kind of things. But you really don't want to jump the gun. You really want to ease into it. And my next tip is I would highly recommend knowing something about comedy before, approaching a comedian. So just watch any Netflix special, maybe take some notes, do some studying up, know a few big comedian names, and bring them up as quickly as possible in your conversation. That helps a lot, goes a long way, I've found. These aren't gonna work. I think I'm gonna go for these ones here. They're gonna look a little bit flashier. Sometimes you gotta add a little flair. And the last piece of advice that I'm gonna give you, which is a pretty good gem that I have just from experience. Whenever a comedian asks you what your favorite sitcom is from the 90s, whatever you do, don't say Friends. I made that mistake and I'm still living it down. Still have to convince people that my favorite sitcom from the 90s is Seinfeld, not Friends, hate Rachel, hate Ross, you know. What? Who's Rachel? Who's Monica, right? Joey? That's a silly name for a person. I don't know who those people are. I'll never live that one down, I don't think. My last piece of advice involves pouring yourself a little drink before you head down to the party, you know? Just making sure that you're not in your head too much. Okay, I'm on my way to meet Carmen and Freddie before we actually go to the comedian party. And my goal at this party is to learn how to make friends with comedians. Wish me luck.
I'm not drunk enough.
What's the problem?
Hi ladies.
Hello, Brittany.
So we're on our way to the comedian party.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting because it's my first ever comedian party. What do you guys think? Like, do you think it's hard to become friends with comedians?
Not as at a show. At a party, it's a different thing.
Like easier or harder?
I would think harder because at the show you have obvious things to talk about, like how shitty their set was.
I think it's an interesting thing though, because comedians are very particular kinds of people, right?
That's true.
They're like, you know, usually a little bit more introverted, a little bit more shy.
Sensitive as well. Not a lot of people know that.
Sensitive.
Comedians are super sensitive.
Yeah.
Bringing a bottle of whiskey probably helps.
Will help a lot. Yeah.
I'm bringing a bottle of whiskey. Desperate? A little. Okay, but keep it lit. Keep it lit. So creepy.
The dark one is here.
Okay, but can you light it in front of Ori's face?
No, but then it's anti-Semitic.
Oh my! This whole thing. Oh, this is good.
The way to befriend a comedian, God damn it, is to tell them to lie to them and say you like their fucking material. That's how. And then they're like, oh really? Oh, you like my material? Which one did you like? I don't know. You're all great. And then it would be best friends forever.
Such a primitive.
Somebody's gonna get burned.
It's a party, okay?
And if none of that works, after the party, you can just go onto Facebook and like every single post that any comedian's ever posted about ever. Every single one. Just go through and like them all. I'm pretty sure that works. All right, bye.